Cal Bartling here, your Chief Storytelling Officer. Another week has gone by. It's in the books. You know, folks, November is a real special month to me. It happens to be my birthday, but that doesn't make it special. What do we have? Veterans Day. I can recall the Veteran Day parades. And Thanksgiving, of course. And on Thanksgiving, there is a certain event that you see on TV. Maybe you're going to watch it. I think they're still going to hold it. But I maybe have related to you that I lived in a small little northeastern town in Nebraska called Macy, Nebraska. And so on Thanksgiving Day, what is there? The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And so we would tell relatives, well, we're going to go to Macy. We're going to Macy's to the parade. So some of the recollections that I have there. So the theme that I'd like to use is Thanksgiving, thanks thinking, and thanks living. Let's start with thanks thinking. Think of some special foods maybe that was made over Thanksgiving. Some of my recollections, folks, would be cranberry relish, where Mom would take actual cranberries, make a relish with it, and she'd put some orange zest in it. So she'd kind of scrape the orange, and she would stick that orange in there. And then she'd blend that together, and then she'd put a little Cool Whip, and then get that good and cold. Oh, that was good. Another one that I remember is an acorn squash, that green squash. She'd split that, and so you got that, she'd hollow out that inside of the seeds. And then she would put some brown sugar and real butter. It had to be real butter. And then she would go ahead and bake that. And of course, then you had the table. You had the big table where the grown-ups sat, and then you had a smaller table. And then, of course, as you grew older, you could graduate to the big table itself. So those are some recollections. And then even in the Army, when we were in the Army, my Sergeant Major Bartling, one of the things that he always seemed to make sure he did when he went from base to base, he became good friends with the cooking sergeant. That's a friend you said you wanted to make friends with. And so over Thanksgiving, they would hand out, and he would get a can. And he would get a can of one of my favorites. And that can would be olive green, the old Army green. Everything's green, right? It would have in there, folks, fruitcake. I love fruitcake. It would look something like this right here, folks. You see this here? Now I had to get this special. This comes special. No green can. Comes from Texas. But this is fresh pecans on there and that hard jellied thing. Now, I remember Sergeant Major Bartling, he seemed to think that his fruitcake was dry. And so he would pour some bourbon on it to get it a little moist. Maybe that's why he liked fruitcake. But I didn't get the bourbon on it. But I do know that you can moisten it with rum. And it tastes pretty good there too. But I love my fruitcake, folks, here. Well, the theme was what? Thanksgiving, thanks thinking, and thanks living. What's the Bible say about that? Well, let's do it in maybe this context itself. That gratitude, praise, and harvest. Gratitude, praise, and harvest. So gratitude. I want to look at 1 Chronicles 16:34. 1 Chronicles 16:34. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. You may have heard that a little bit. Sometimes pastors will use that a lot. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. 1 Chronicles 16:34, that of gratitude. That takes us on our list, folks, of the next category. So I said first one, gratitude. The next one, praise. So let's be praise. What does the Bible say about that? Let's look at Psalm 56:4. Psalm 56:4. In God, whose word I praise, In God, whose word I praise. In God I trust. Sounds like something on a coin, doesn't it? In God I trust and am not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? What can mere mortals do to me? In God I trust. Finally, it takes us to then the category of harvest. And for harvest, I want to look at New Testament, Galatians 6:9. Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. We will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9. So there's a little light on what the Bible says about thanksgiving itself. Tom, when he was born, he was only born with half of a foot and a stub of an arm. And yet as he grew and he went to school and he wanted to always play football. And times you don't get to play football, but certain positions he wasn't comfortable with because he had a stub of a foot and a stub of a hand. But he was determined. He was determined. And so he practiced and he practiced. And you know what, folks? Tom got a scholarship for playing football. And he practiced so much and was so good during college that he became a professional football player. You see, Tom became the field goal kicker for the New Orleans Saints, a field goal kicker. And in this month, on November the 8th of 1970, Tom Dempsey, with 12 seconds left in the game, kicked a 63-yard field goal, which at that point set a record of the longest field goal. Perseverance. It held for quite a few years, folks. But just think, Tom Dempsey, and he had a stub of a foot, and you think of the balance. You watch the games and the kickers, how they use their arms for balance. But that's Tom Dempsey, the perseverance, success of perseverance. I would like to share this with you, folks. It's an email, and I've sent this email out for the last 13 years. So all the people that's in my email list, this is how it goes out. So I'd like to maybe share this with you if I could then, folks, okay? It's entitled, Happy Thanksgiving. To U.S. readers preparing for this month's holiday, Happy Thanksgiving. To my international readers in Central America, particularly Panama, where my family is, and South America. While you're not celebrating Thanksgiving holiday, I think being a giving and thankful person is a key to living a fulfilling and joyful life. So here are a few thoughts I have on giving that I want to share with you. Giving of yourself, your time, your money, your energy is something that takes us from simply being a successful person in the traditional sense of the term to being a person who leads a successful life. Giving is what makes us fully human. It is the essence of what we are. People who are here on earth together. Not simply people who hope to get to the top. Yes, pursue your life and your success with wild abandonment. Be responsible for yourself and take ownership of your life. Realizing that you cannot be responsible for others, but also allow yourself to be that giving person. Giving is also what allows us to accomplish things way beyond ourselves, and is part of what living our dreams is all about. Living is giving your best self away. Giving and living is helping someone every day. It's respect for all nations, color, and creeds. It's sharing and caring for your neighbor's needs. One of God's greatest laws you can live and believe is the more that you give, the more that you will receive. Folks, God's plan for you is indeed great. And I hope that each and every one of you will have a blessed Thanksgiving. And blessed are those who ease the pain of misfortune, for they shall be called insurance agents. Take care, everyone.